It seems like everybody today is looking for certainty. Nobody wants to live in the gray space anymore. Like, am I going to get married? Am I going to die tomorrow? Am I gluten-free? Will the groundhog see his shadow? If you too are the kind of person that wants to know exactly what the future holds, then you're going to love this video where I share 10 things that you will learn about yourself from the GI map. I'm Wendy Frazier, gut specialist and essential oil expert, and I'm here to help you get certainty in your life by shortening your learning curve in this maddening world of nutrition and gut health. Why? So you can get a better gut, feel great, have some fun doing it, and get back into your favorite jeans that probably fit this morning. In exchange for your full attention to the end, I'm giving you my cherished guide to the best supplements for gut health and bloating. Number 1, you will learn the state of the good bacteria in your gut. You'll learn if you have enough, if you have enough variety, and you'll also learn if you actually have an overgrowth of good bacteria, which can actually pose a pretty big problem. Number 2, you will learn about the bad bacteria that might be overgrown or out of balance in your gut. You'll learn the different types of bad bacteria and each of their specific roles and how they lead to different disease. Number 3, you'll learn if you have H. pylori. Number 4, you'll learn if you have E. coli. Number 5, we'll be able to see the levels of inflammation in your gut and the pattern between the inflammation and the different types of bacteria that we either need to increase or decrease. Number 6, you'll learn if your pancreas is working harder than it needs to. Number 7, we will be able to detect whether or not you have leaky gut or a permeability in your gut lining. We will learn if you're having an inflammatory response to gluten. You'll also learn if you have certain parasites. You will learn if you have the one strain of beneficial bacteria that has been shown over and over again to be a key indicator in the bodies of those who are able to maintain a healthy weight. The GI map is actually not for everyone. It's not covered by most insurance, although there are certain insurances that will reimburse you for it. However, if you're somebody that's been struggling for a long time with health issues and you've been to doctors and you've done the whole thing and you haven't gotten the answers you're looking for, the GI map might be a really good next step for you. Okay, so here's an example of a GI map. And as you can see, there's this first section is called bacteriopathogens. And this is where you learn if you have C. diff or E. coli, salmonella, anything really bad that we definitely don't want in your system. As you can see, this client did have a really significant E. coli infection. It also tests for parasites and other pathological viruses. This is the H. pylori section. And remember, this test detects at parts per million, so we can get a really good indicator of any H. pylori, which you do not want in your body as it's quite contagious. The next section is called the normal bacteria section. You can see if you look to the right here that it's not that we don't want just carte blanche to have as much as you want. There's parameters. You can see on the right where even the normal and commensal good bacteria to be within correct parameters. This bottom that I'm circling right here is the ratio of two really big sort of like colonies of good bacteria, and you want a proper ratio. This is the opportunistic bacteria section, which I really love. This is kind of like not good or bad, but when overgrown can create a lot of problems. And so you can see that this client has a few that are quite high. There are some really interesting parallels and the reasons why that is the way that it is. This section is the potential autoimmune triggers section, which I love. This doesn't mean you're going to get an autoimmune disease, but by looking at this, if we notice some elevated levels, we can interrupt the pattern and change the trajectory of your health. This is the candida section, lots of different types of candida and also viruses and yeast. So we can detect Epstein-Barr on this test. This is the protozoa, so like the parasite and worms section. This is the intestinal health section. It's one of my favorite sections because it gives us a really interesting picture of what's actually going on in the gut. Elastase, for example, is actually an enzyme that's produced by the pancreas. And so we can get a really good indicator of, are you producing enough pancreatic enzymes? Are you able to digest fat properly? Steatocrit tells us how much fat is in the stool. Beta-glucuronidase, when that's a really high elevated number, it can point to hormones that are out of balance in the system. Occult blood is any kind of blood in the stool. The immune response, though, down here, the secretory IgA is like an indicator of inflammation
in the gut. And you can see this young man had very high inflammation in the gut. He was very uncomfortable and was suffering a lot of the time. The anti-gliadin tells us if gluten is not very happy inside of your gut and is causing inflammation. And calprotectin tells us just generalized inflammation markers. And so this is kind of a quick overview, but this gives you an idea of what a GI map will actually tell you.
So I've been doing GI map analysis and protocol creation for people for the last almost 4 years. I love seeing people's health turn around for the better once we can actually know the specifics of what's going on. And my favorite clients are those who literally are at the end of their rope. So there you have it, the GI map test. What is it? I hope that you enjoyed this kind of simple introduction to the power of a microbiome analysis. In the meantime, if you want my free report, which is the best supplements for gut health and bloating, run, don't walk to the description down below, where you will not only download that free report, where you will learn the only probiotic on the market that includes the right strains to help you begin to build a really solid gut environment. But you can also book a discovery call with me if you're thinking that the GI map might be right for you. In the meantime, hit that subscribe button, follow me, and check out the rest of my channel, which is full of free entertainment, subpar videos, and a lot of potty talk, all designed to help you get a better gut. You can also find me on Instagram at Wendy Loves Oils, where I share essential oil tips and some fun tutorials.